Hi, I'm Kip Felice with Miller Industries, and this is Chris with Collins Manufacturing. In an earlier video, we showed you basic dolly operations. In this video, we're going to show you some tips and tricks using those dollies.
Thanks, Kip. A couple of scenarios that we want to show is lifting a heavy vehicle using the Collins safety ratchet system, also lifting oversized tires. Another scenario we want to show is using the dollies to lift a vehicle, let's say up against a wall in a parking garage, or on a surface that may be slippery or on a type of a slope. The scenario we have here is a large truck. It's all-wheel drive and is parked up against a wall, something that you might find in a parking garage. Because of the larger tires and the wider wheelbase, we're going to take our cross rails, and the first step will be to extend it to be able to reach out across the width of the vehicle here. To extend it, we're going to depress the button here, and if we want to reach that last hole, we can simply stand on the cross rail, twist it, and release it all the way up. We have the second cross rail in place, and what you'll notice is that we'll want to get the dolly as close to the vehicle tire as possible. That way the weight is properly distributed. Like you watched in the previous video, after releasing the dolly, we're also going to engage the safety ratchet. This is what will help us to lift a vehicle of this weight and also help us against the wall here so we can move it safely. We'll repeat the same process on this side by releasing the dollies, placing the cross rails into the pockets, and engaging the safety ratchets. In setting up the dollies, you'll want to make sure that the dolly body is parallel to the tire. That way it tracks evenly when you're towing. In the event that the vehicle's tires are turned out, you'll want to make sure that the dollies are still in line so that you're pulling straight. Now that the dollies are set up, we're going to raise the rear side up, getting that vehicle up, and then setting the safety lock. When up against an obstacle like this wall, where the dolly pry bar is limited in its swing, we'll use the safety ratchet system to step up the dolly and raise it enough to be able to move the vehicle out of the way. So this is as far as we can go with the ratchet, with the wall in the way, but it's enough to get the vehicle off of the ground and be able to pull it away with the truck. Once it's pulled away, we can raise the dolly the rest of the way because you don't want to be driving on the ratchets themselves. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Now that the vehicle is lifted and ready to move, we'll pull it away with the wrecker. Now that we have the vehicle moved away from the wall, we'll finish raising the dollies all the way up to the final loading position. Lock it in place. And now we'll repeat the process to lock and secure the other side. Because you may get called out to a tow in any kind of weather, any time of day, the safety ratchets help to keep your footing and your grip secured. So in case as you're raising the vehicle, in case you were to slip or lose your grip, the safety ratchet will catch the pry bar, keep the vehicle upright as you try and recenter and get your footing and your grip again to continue to raise the vehicle. This keeps the tow operator safe, it keeps the vehicle secure, and it also keeps your customer, if they're standing by the vehicle, safe as well. You'll notice that the safety ratchets not only help with loading a vehicle up against an obstacle, but also in lifting heavy vehicles such as this truck, no matter the size of your tow operator. And now, as part of the last step, we'll apply our straps, our safety chains, and our tow lights, and we're ready to roll. One thing to keep in mind when you're loading a heavy vehicle like this truck here is to use the correct load-rated tire and at the correct PSI. The aluminum wheels on the Collins Hi-Speed Dolly are rated to 1,070 pounds each at 100 PSI. For this next tip, we're going to show how you can load on the dollies a vehicle that has very large tires with big tread, or a vehicle that has a flat tire as well. What we'll do is we have the dolly set up and we have the rear cross rail installed. The vehicle on the other side is hooked up to the wheel lift, and you'll retract the stinger, bringing the vehicle's tire up onto that back cross rail. Now with the vehicle on the stinger, it's secured and it's in place. That'll allow us to put the front cross rail into the dolly. and then extend the stinger back out so the tires rest into the dolly cross rails. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully you learned some tips to make your towing a little bit safer and easier.
Thanks, Chris. Remember, subscribe to our news feed to stay up to date with all the tips and tricks from Miller Industries.
This video is for product demonstration purposes only and is not intended for training or instructional purposes. Situations vary, and operators should rely on their own professional knowledge and safety procedures when conducting actual recoveries.
Miller Industries, the world leader in towing and recovery equipment.